G'day, Michael here. I've got all three printers printing right now, busily working away. This print job should be about a 4-hour print on the Black Widow. It's printing PLA, and I finally got it running basically how I want it to run. Turned out part of my problems with the machine was actually when I used the different firmware, which I downloaded the later firmware. It's not quite configured to this, was not quite configured to the hardware that's on this particular Black Widow. There seems to be quite a few variations of what's possible. They're a nicely open architecture machine. You can really option them out in all sorts of directions, but of course whatever the variations are have to be reflected in whatever you do with the settings of the firmware. Okay, my Prusa, the G-Tech Prusa i3, it's printing the PLA also, and it's quite happily working away. The only real modification I made on this machine was, of course, that heat sink arrangement on the back end, so that we could do many hours of printing without jamming. Now this machine is very nice and stable. It's kind of not my fastest. It's more likely my slowest machine, but it's just a good little worker. It's not giving me any grief. I really haven't had anything, no problems with it at all. The Delta, which I bought very cheap, Delta machine. It's my first printer, and I learned a heap from this thing. Here you can see the bearings. I've changed them now, so I've got 4 bearings on the brackets. Let me just show very well. Maybe the far one will show it best. Where are we? There. Okay, so you can see that component there's got 4 bearings, and of course I've got this sort of closed cooling circuit. You can see the clear tube on the rear of the printhead, and there's a sort of an opaque tube on the front, which is basically exhaust tube, which vents to the outside world. That's getting cooled by compressed air from the workshop air. And as a result, I've managed to reduce the weight of the printhead dramatically, so I'm getting really good performance out of this, acceleration, deceleration, cornering, etc. So this printer is working. It's a bit of a star. This guy's got a 0.6mm tip. The Prusa's got a 0.4. And the Black Widow's got a 0.8mm tip, so they're reasonably different to drive, and I'm very happy with the way this guy's performing. It's nice and fast, and now it's really my best ABS printer at the moment. I have yet to get the TiVo perfectly tweaked to do ABS the same size. This is giving me very little fuss here on the Delta. Very happy with it. Even though it started out as one of the tackiest machines possible, it's now performing beautifully. I get good accuracy, good flatness, the whole thing. Alright, see how this guy's going. Yeah, this part's going to be about a 4-hour print. This part is about 120 wide, I think about 70 deep, and about 200 high. It's almost the maximum size this printer will print. And that's going to be about a 30-hour print. And the Delta does this part here in about 2 hours. So it's chuffing through it quite nicely. When I say 2 hours, that includes the heat up and whatnot for the flatten, so you'd probably say it's about an hour and a half really. Well, I guess that's it. I hope that was of interest to someone here. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, ask a question, leave a comment. Bye for now.